Tony graduated from Michigan State University with a Bachelor of Arts in English and Spanish. He also was president of the prestigious Spartan Marching Band. See, next time he speaks, I'm going to make him bring his saxophone. Just you all will go up another level in appreciation of saxophone. Tony believes that the community should be more than invested in schools and education, and that many students are service learners and need mentors in the marketplace and job shadowing opportunities. Amen to that. Come and speak to us, Tony.
Definitely, I want to say good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
All right, it's such a pleasure to be here. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Bouknight and the Bouknight family, the Eaglevision family. I tell you, I haven't met a more beautiful family in my life than the Bouknight family. They have really inspired me and even, taken me in many times and showed me kindness. And I had a chance to even meet their extended family. So I want to say thank you so much for that kindness. And thank you to you all at Eaglevision. Isn't it such a wonderful vision? Isn't it? Give yourselves a hand. Wow. We're here at the Lansing Center. And to you awesome graduates, you all look so wonderful. Don't they look wonderful, everybody? We're so proud of you. Proud of you. We really are proud of you. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. I was like, who is that? But yes, I am a graduate of Michigan State University. I taught at Okemos High School for several years, and I've done the past couple of years at New City Academy, of which last year I actually was principal of the school. This year I'm administrator of middle school. New City Academy is a public charter school, K through 8 school. The majority of the students who attend New City Academy are high risk and at-risk students, and that's the clientele that I love. Those are the kids that people say they won't make it. But I don't believe in word curses. I believe in speaking positive things over people. I believe in telling people that you can make it. It doesn't matter what your yesterday was. It's the thing is that you have a beautiful today and you have a wonderful future ahead of you. So on today, as a thought, I just wanted to really just use two ideas. One is the word flight. I mean, eagle is just an amazing, amazing animal. And I know that you've studied that, and it's very prophetic to really associate with being an eagle. And what you call, if you ever own a business, or which I'm sure that most of you will be entrepreneurs without question, when you have children, if you don't have already, be very careful what you name something. Because what you name something actually denotes the destiny that is going to take forth. This vision was destined for greatness from the beginning. It's called Eaglevision, and not chickens, not turkeys, but we're eagles, and eagles soar. And I'm going to use as an acronym, flight. But the other word that I'm going to use at the end of my brief talk with you all is a word called deconstruct. The word deconstruct actually means tearing down certain mindsets that you may have had in life, even certain things that people have told you that you cannot do, but you have to believe that you can. And sometimes you have to start all over. But God gives us a new beginning, He gives us new opportunities, and He gives us a new day. Now, I'm very interactive with audiences, because I just got back from school and I work with middle school kids, and so I'm very interactive. So, I'll walk out there. So, I may walk out there and nudge you a little bit. I will quiz you off of what I say, so you got to really pay attention. So, the word flight. Everybody say F.
F.
Okay, F stands for focus. Now, as you go through life, it's very important to remain focused on your goals. You have to have clear, concise goals, and those goals will lead you to a very specific path. So remember to remain focused. So what does F stand for?
Focus.
Good job. You guys are great. You guys get an A already. You guys are great. The next one is L. L stands for listen. You have to be a very critical listener. Have you ever met people that don't listen to what you say? They're actually thinking about what they're gonna say? I know we don't do that here, but I actually learned to listen, even to my students. You know, they're like, Mr. Woods, you didn't hear what I just said. You know, so we want to make sure that we listen, especially to good, sound instruction, like Eaglevision, the beautiful board and the teachers and the tutors. We want to also thank you, but these are people that we can listen to. So what does L stand for? Listen. Good, you guys are great. What does F stand for? Focus. There you go, focus, there we go. Now the I stands for intelligent. Be intelligent in all that you do. God has blessed us all with wonderful minds. Be intelligent, make good choices. With everything that we do, we always have an option. You can do the right thing or the wrong thing. Being intelligent, take time and think about what you're doing. You don't have to rush into anything. So make sure that you are being intelligent. What does the I stand for? Intelligent. What does the F stand for? Focus. What does the L stand for? Yes. Ooh, you guys are good. Awesome. The G stands for give respect. In all that we do, we have to give respect. I tell my students all the time, I'm going to always respect you, no matter what you do, and I can guarantee that. I'm never going to lose my cool. There are certain things that you should always be able to promise your neighbor, and I can promise you that I'll never cuss you out. I'll never hurt you. I'll never do anything to hurt or to harm you. That's a part of giving respect, and we all have that capacity that's God-given. So what does G stand for?
Give respect.
What does F stand for?
Focus.
L.
Listen.
I.
Intelligence.
G.
Give respect.
Good job. All right, we're almost there. H. H stands for high achiever. It's very important to be a not just an achiever, but a high achiever, and always push towards the next level. Always push towards the next goal. If you accomplish the first task at hand, guess what? Push for something higher. Don't just sit back and say, oh, I accomplished this. Let's go on to the next step. Very good. High achiever. What does H stand for? High achiever. F. L.
Listen.
I.
Intelligent.
G.
Give respect.
H.
High achiever.
Good job. Ooh, you guys are awesome. And T is trustworthy. You have to be trustworthy. If something is given to you, you need to be entrusted with it. We all have a heart and we all have a mind, but you have to trust your heart. You have to trust your instincts. Trust the vision that you have, even if everything seems like it's going the opposite way. Because guess what? Sometimes in life, things are going to seem like they're going the exact opposite of what you planned. But do we give up? No. You keep going. And so you trust, but also trust the ones that God has placed over you. I know Dr. Bouknight, she won't just go away. She'll be there forever for you. You can trust that. But just like these beautiful people are here for you, guess what? Be there for somebody else. Be trustworthy for your neighbors. Be trustworthy for people who may also be at risk in many ways, or high risk. So what does T stand for? Trustworthy. What is F? Focus. L. I. Intelligence. G. Give respect. H. And T. Trustworthy. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. That is awesome. That is awesome. I like doing things in acronyms because I found out it actually helps kids remember. And I have hundreds of them, and guess my kids at school, they can ramble right through them. They know what I'm going to say before. They're like, oh, Mr. Woods, I know what you're about to say. But I'm like, you remember, though. You remember. And the next brief word I want to just give you is deconstruct. And I want to tell you just a little bit about my journey and how I had to deconstruct some things. When I did get my degree from Michigan State University, I did apply to the Okemos Public Schools, which is a prestigious district. And I was graced by God to actually be hired there. I taught Spanish there for several years. But after that time, God kind of called me into the charter school movement. So I did, at that time, I went over and transferred to New City Academy, a public charter school. The clientele that I deal with there is just, incredibly challenging. Most of the students that I have POs, officers, and they maybe have been kicked out of the Lansing School District. Just a lot of challenges, but that's the type of child that I love working with. And we have a very high success rate with them. But during my time when I was at New City Academy, there were some things that went on with my certification. And so I actually had to go back to school to recertify to be a teacher. So in the meanwhile, they're like, well, Mr. Woods, if you still want to be employed, we have a spot in the cafeteria. I was like, wow. You know, here I am, you know, this big time teacher, you know, and now I have to go from being, you know, this big time teacher to now being a cafeteria worker. Well, I said, you know, well, I love being around the kids so much, and it'll just be temporary until I, you know, recertify. So I went ahead and I took the job as a cafeteria worker. And then, well, some other things went wrong with my certification, so it took a couple more weeks, and they said, well, Mr. Woods, you know, you can be a paraprofessional. And, you know, a paraprofessional, that's a really good position. I mean, it's really just, you know, I call it just a step down from being a teacher, even though at my school, we see all adults as being equal. We don't really, you know, distinguish, but your pay is significantly different when you're a paraprofessional. So I went from having this big time, you know, teacher salary lifestyle to being a paraprofessional. And there was some deconstructing going on in my life that I didn't understand at that time. But I really humbled myself, and I did whatever task was at hand. I did whatever my bosses asked me to do. Then I finally was able to recertify, and so I got back into the classroom, and I enjoyed teaching children. But then I was asked to actually become principal of the school. So I literally went all the way from being a cafeteria worker and a paraprofessional, then to being principal of a school. And now I have opportunities to move on to other things. But I'm saying all that to say this, that no matter what you do in life, don't ever give up. Because I could have just given up and said, you know what, you know, or I could have been filled with pride and say, you know, but I'm telling you, there's no position that's too big or too small. I have so much respect for cafeteria workers now. I'm like, oh my goodness, because they can do things that nobody else can do. They can snap their fingers when the kids, you know, when I first went in there, I was like, hey, you guys, you know, just running all over. The cafeteria worker that had been there, she would say, no, Mr. Woods, this is how you do it. And she taught me things, but I humbled myself to even a cafeteria worker. So what I want to tell you today, you can learn from anyone. You can learn from your experiences. You can learn from the cafeteria worker. Don't ever look at anybody as being less than, and realize that you can really learn from anybody. But I look at you all today, and I respect you greatly. I have high honor for you all as graduates, and I believe in you. And I believe that I can learn from you all, and I did. And I enjoyed those speeches, and I'm looking forward to learning from you all as the program proceeds. So thank you so much. So just in closing, what does the F stand for? L. I.
Intelligent.
G.
Give respect.
H.
High achiever.
And T.
Trustworthy.
Thank you so much.